Hi, this is Eric Stoller. We're back with the Eric Stoller Show and the Man on a Mission podcast. I'm back with Marie Sophie Bear, co-founder of Miami Biohack. Now, let's talk about your other half.
Yes.
Let's talk a little about Alexander Ellis,
Mm-hmm.
who is a really great guy, and you guys seem to make a really good team.
Yes.
Because he's all about the business, right? Because he asked me, "Hey, that's great, interestingly, going back before Alex, how I was introduced to you guy was by a young man named Misha Grossman, who was one of the electric violinists.
No way.
He's one of my, he's a friend of mine.
Yeah.
He performs at my shows. In fact, I called him yesterday.
Interesting.
Because he's like, I said, I told him what's going on. And I said, where are you? He goes, oh, I'm in Vienna right now. And he goes, can you get me some gigs? So I'm like, well, let me get my team to sniff around, and because he was with those other guys. He's
Marky Lucky?
Yeah, exactly.
Marky Lucky, honestly, is such a talent. Both of them. Misha too, but Marky too, like, wow, amazing.
Yeah.
And that's what we bring to Biohack. We bring in live entertainment, a DJ, live music, violinist. Last time we had a saxophonist.
Wow, amazing. No, I don't know if I saw that. But, well, next time maybe let's bring some of our musicians here.
Yes.
We got great musicians. We're going to have a whole festival in December, but we have an amazing group. And when my voice is up to it, my vocal coach is not till October, but, it's, but more importantly, I want to talk about with your event, because what I really love about it is, people come to our medical events and are a little boring. People get to try stuff. And what I've actually developed, like some of relationships with people, like I'm in contact, because they're all into it. They all want to come back. They look forward to the next one. It's like, it's Sunday. And what I love about it on the Sunday, it's kind of like, you could be at home watching TV, or you spend 4 to 8 with you guys, and you end your Sunday on like a real positive note, really having a good time. So I commend you for that, because that's truly amazing what you guys have put together. So let's talk a little bit about Alex and that partnership and how you guys really work together to make this successful.
Honestly, I'm blessed to have Alex as my business partner. We're an amazing team, because he comes more from a financial side, he wants to get this business growing. Me too, but like he takes care of like liabilities, insurances, all that stuff that I don't really want to do.
Right.
So, right? But it needs to get done.
Of course.
Especially if you like work with medical procedures and have doctors on site. So it's very important, and I'm super grateful that he's doing all of that, and that he kind of enforces the business development. And I come more from like a marketing, creative perspective. So I set more like the tone for the attendee experience and the social media and all the videos putting together, but also integrating my vision and mission and vision into this. So yes, we have an aligned mission, Alex and me.
Great.
And honestly, it's super fun. That's also what makes a good business relationship. You need to have fun working together, right?
Yes.
And with him, he's my friend since 8+ years.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
I know him longer than I've lived in Miami.
So you know him before
Yes.
Miami?
I knew him before Miami. We actually met in Bimini in the Bahamas.
No kidding.
Yeah. Funny story. So since then we connected and we were like, okay, it's a fit. We're both super into health. It's our passion, so it's definitely nice.
Yeah, he's a great guy. In fact, I get to meet his mom.
Yes, his parents come to every event.
Yeah. Well, that's great. That's great. And in fact, I know my mom's from the Dominican Republic. My wife's Dominican. So, we started, we're around the same age. I keep forgetting, but that's the thing you start thinking about in today's age. Age isn't as important. It's the mindset. Because you start forgetting about, I have friends that are like, literally James Hyman, who was there, he's 78 years old. He went back to LA. He was in Palm Desert. He's on his way to Northern California to meet with his partner or his associate, who's a Tibetan monk. For 3 days, they work together. Then he's headed to Phoenix to CJB. Then he's going to Aspen, and then he may go to Thailand with my friend. So here's a guy at 78 living his best life.
Right. That's how it should be.
Right.
That's why we have all of these technologies. So that's why I also want to ask you, like,
yes,
how does these technologies really benefit?
Okay.
Like,
so
tell me about the real advantages, benefits.
So let's talk about that because, we hear, like we said earlier on when we were talking, you talk about light, water, air, the natural things, right? You and
Right.
I can go stand, we don't need a red light. You and I can stand in the sun for 10 minutes.
Right.
My dermatologist used to say, just stand outside for 10 minutes in the sun. It's perfect, right? But we forget, right? We don't go down to the beach, but the salt water in the air heals us, right? But they have saltwater pools and flotation. What happens is, especially, with healthy people, I found, like, for example, red light technology, which is also called photobiomodulation. And what photobiomodulation is doing, it's helping reduce the amount of inflammation. So whether you got it from an injury in the brain, this particular thing is, you've tried this, you put it on, and I don't, we're not plugged in, and it lights up. And so I use this daily. In fact,
I would love to. Yeah, I know it from our events, but I would love to show
wait, hang on,
the
hang on,
viewers
hang
how
on.
it really looks.
Yeah. In fact, I think I'm plugged in. Yes, I am plugged in. Oh no. Okay, good. That's it. So this little device is just really like a transformer, right? And unlike your little red light cap, which you can wear with a little baseball cap, you really can't do this with this. And the one thing, so when people look at red lights, this is what you got to understand. You can buy one on the internet or some cheap one at the store. It's not the same. This, for example, like retails for like over $6,000. But it's the quality of the light. So this is like, I think, a 660 or 880, the transistors.
Yes.
And so, like, this is something when you wear it, for example, why isn't it going on? Great.
We're gonna cut this part.
Yeah, well,
I don't know why it's not going on.
maybe it's something like this. No, it should.
It should be, right? I
right.
know. Okay, but start.
Right.
No. Start from scratch.
All right. So when we put this on, I'm not going to the whole time, but typically when you put the red light on, okay, and then the other one's called near infrared. And so when you wear this, you wear about a minute and a half. And so what it's doing is it's just relaxing the brain. What I find is after, like, it looks silly wearing it. You get a strap and wear it on, but cognitive improvement. And then I'll just show you the other side. And then after a minute, so this is like a near infrared, right? And so the lower light actually penetrates the skull even deeper.
Yeah.
And this is a 3-minute load. So what I find, two things in the morning, if I wake up and I got a little brain fog, and yeah, you could put it on here. Let's get the clip there. Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah, you can wear it for a minute. So
yeah, I can wear it.
Yeah. So what happens is that the brain starts to relax. What I find is after like 5 minutes, I'm firing. Like if I'm at the trade show and I'm talking to people, and I'm like, wow, I'm not missing a beat, which is kind of cool. Or let's say you went out the night before and you had one too many cocktails, and you're like, I feel a little bit. It helps. Also the red light, even the panels, what I have found from an energy standpoint.
Yes.
I get so much energy from red light.
Yes.
So and just repair. I had surgery a month ago for a hernia. So I used the red light. We have, I didn't put the helmet on it, but we had a panel which we have here and a handheld device. And what's great about this device, if you're healthy, it's going to improve your cognitive ability. If somebody has, like, let's say they banged their head or had a brain injury, we work with children with autism. We're finding that it's relaxing them. They're having less anxiety. My mother, unfortunately, has Alzheimer's. And I've been able to put it on her because a lot of Alzheimer's people, like, don't touch me.
Yeah.
Can I say it's moving the needle? And again, these are things that are, I say, experimental.
Yeah.
But it's like you use them every single day, you're going to see results.
Right.
Now, we talk about stacking, right? And let me just change this out because we'll put it on the lower setting for you because you want to go too long.
Yeah.
Right? Because I know every time you come over, you're like, I got a minute, take a picture. You got to run, right? You don't get a chance
I
to
know,
use
no,
it.
I actually want to use it. I want to benefit from all the benefits, also for hair growth,
That's
right?
right. For the hair
So
growth.
hair growth is amazing.
And like the cap we were talking about, which is a phenomenal cap, a lot of the hair transplant guys, they make you take that home. Because if you do these PRP treatments, it's stimulating hair growth.
And that also leads actually, so my brother just got a hair transplantation, and you know what he's doing, or what they're selling him in the hospital, hyperbaric chamber sessions.
That's right. That's right.
Because it really helps. Tell me about it.
100%. So take the red light,
Right.
compare it with the oxygen. You got light and oxygen. So when you're in a hyperbaric chamber, like the ones we have, we brought, these are between 1.3 and 1.6 atmospheres. Okay. So they're designed to be used in your home. They're designed that, you can actually operate it yourself. Like if your brother goes to a clinic, most of those are 2.0 and higher, where they're being administered by a medical doctor because they're a little bit more, they have to be regulated. But going in there, you're at 93% pure oxygen.
Yeah.
And we have what's called telomeres. And what it does is it helps lengthen the telomeres, so it's extending your life. They're saying if you do 3 times a week for 60 minutes in a hyperbaric chamber, you can extend your life by another 10 years of quality life. The other thing is injuries. A lot of it, they only know it from like...
They heal so much faster.
Exactly.
Recovery process speeds up 10 times.
Amazing. In fact, I met somebody, the Israeli gentleman, that they have the super high-tech ones in Israel. They're taking guys off the battlefield, and they're back in 2 weeks.
It's amazing.
What was the other thing? Wound care, which is very big for it. But now we have, like, my biggest clients, Oxygen Health Systems. They just installed one in Steve Harvey's home, Mark Wahlberg, but the list goes on.
People are making offices inside of hyperbaric chambers.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Gary Breck is doing it.
That's the future. Honestly, that's the future. And I can't wait. And I'm so excited that there's a movement. Finally, I feel like there's something happening, so people start to realize, like, hey, we have preventative care. We have preventative health care. Like simple things like a hyperbaric chamber session for 30 minutes can do so much in your life.
Exactly, right? Exactly. And the other thing is the PEMF, the pulse electromagnetic frequency.
That you have from AmpCoil.
We have AmpCoil, and that one is designed, in fact, at the next event, there's some interesting technologies. There's a voice prompt to it. So I'm going to make that one next time we're out there. Everybody can do their own voice prompt, and then it'll find where they have inflammation or chronic disease through that.
Yes, that's amazing.
And then they just partnered with a company that spent like $20 million on sound therapy.
Yes.
So we're going to be integrating that into the coil. And when you can take it off whenever you want, if your head is feeling.
Oh, it feels good, but I think it's enough.
Yeah. You just flip that in the middle.
Yeah.
And again, the design of it is not something that's wow, but I will tell you, this company is doing amazing things. I was telling you, the founder, Tom Kerber, these are people that are all about helping people.
Yeah.
So that's the wonderful thing when you get people. It's not just about making a sale, which is wonderful when you make a sale, but it's also about people, like moving the needle on people, especially people that have serious issues. In fact, we were at a chiropractic event and somebody had she banged her head, and by the end of the weekend, she was good. So it works.
Right, because in the end, all we have is our health. If we don't have our health, what else do we have? Right? So like you can have 1,000 problems, but if your health gets to a problem, you only have one problem.
Amen. And it's funny you say that, because my good friend Les Brown, the motivational speaker, said that. He goes, you're healthy, you have 1,000 goals, right? Yes. And if you're not, you have one. And that's part of my mission. That's why I'm out at these events. Yes. I lost 100 pounds using, trizipatide, a compound. And said, was it just that? No, I've seen many people fall back, but I was committed. Because what I believe it all comes down to is up here.
Right.
And when people see me, like, all over the country, are like, my neighbor just moved back into his apartment, and he goes, "Do I know you?" I go, "It's Eric Stoller." He's like, You know, so I even on TSA, I had the Clear app and it didn't work. They had to like double check me. Then I pulled my license out. Everything has big fat
Yeah.
pictures of my face.
Yeah.
So the other thing I wanted to talk with the amp coil and Tesla. So if you're familiar with Nikolai Tesla, a lot of these frequencies come from Tesla. You know, the Tesla coils, he was a genius. So like, you know, getting parasites out of the body. The amp coil helps get rid of Lyme disease. I used it with my hernia. So you go, really? When you start using these things, it is truly amazing. The infrared sauna, which if somebody doesn't have a lot of money, that would be the number one thing I'd buy. Because one, you'll use it every day.
Yep.
It's only like $1,500. And I have it in my house. When you'll come to my place and you'll see, and I have it, your head sticks out. And in fact, some of your friends were on it. Like your one friend's Victoria's her name, or one of the gals, she's like your tech person. She's like, she's like
Agustina?
maybe that's, yeah.
I don't know.
She was like, I know she was like one of your computer tech people.
Okay.
Anyway, she was on it. But what I was saying is like people go in it for 5 minutes. So we live in Florida and it's always cold. My house is cold. I go in for 5 minutes, 3-4 times a day. Again, it's stimulating your mitochondria. You're getting energy.
Oh, I love sauna. I go to the infrared sauna almost 5 times a week, sometimes even every day because I miss it.
Yeah, so imagine this. This is portable.
Yeah.
You could take it with you on your trips. It's like 15 pounds, but you pop it up. So and again, the owner of that company, 30 years doing this, Phil Wilson, amazing guy. And again, all of these companies we try to align with, we work directly with the founders. We have partnerships where we not only bring the tech, they're out at all our events. We have a showroom location in North Miami. We have this location in Hollywood, Studio 111, and we're actually going to be highlighting more tech. And then I'm taking my place when you come there, and we're trying to make that the health and wellness kind of like suite. So when people are thinking about what could I do if I can spend $100,000, this is what it looks like. Or what can I do if I've got a little budget, like, you know, like a cold plunge. I'm going to try to get one of our cold plunge guys. But if you can't afford one, you can get a freezer and you got a cold plunge. So don't feel like I can't get the $50,000 device. You don't need it.
Yeah, they're actually working now on a shower hat that brings out very cold water. You know, in Germany, we have cold and hot water. Here in the US, you only have one side, so you cannot really shower cold.
That's right.
But in Germany, it's possible to shower cold. And I think they're developing this shower hat that actually brings you cold water. So yeah, very exciting also what kind of the developments we have. And the technologies are advancing every time. So it's good to be on time, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And then I know you have the device, like the hydrogen device.
It's easy, you know, to implement that in your lifestyle because it's just a simple bottle of water. You press ready, and then it fills in with hydrogen. So it goes on 10 minutes. You need to wait now, and now the hydrogen comes into the water. So it infuses the water with hydrogen, which helps with inflammation. It makes your skin better, and it's simple things. That's the thing. Like, people ask me always, where do I start? There's so much technology out there. I get overwhelmed, right?
Correct.
But it's like simple lifestyle changes, and start somewhere. Start with something, and then naturally you get into more stuff, right? Because
exactly. I think the first thing is sometimes say to somebody, take a walk.
Right. Take a walk.
Take a walk.
Yeah.
Take a walk. Get out in nature. You know, we get so caught up in our computers and our phones, and I, you know, God bless Steve Jobs, may he rest in peace, but he cursed all of us at the same time because we're like this. Like you think my screen time is only 9 hours a day. I'm like, oh my God, right?
No, yeah, 100%. Nature is healing. 100%. Like. And so many technologies, as I told you, like are connected to nature, as we already talked about.
That's right. The water. So we were talking.
Even the sound, brain taps, also like light, different light, sound, like there's so many things.
Well, not only the sound, actually the sound and light. We work with Brain Tap, and there's another company we work with called Roxiva. Try to get a hold of them. They have another technology that's similar to a Brain Tap.
Okay.
So you think light, water, sound, you know, all of these frequencies And, even the frequency, the government changed the frequency years ago for us. My friend of mine produces these sound healing frequency speakers, and they literally like put you in a relaxed state. Versus listening to people listen to headbanging music. And me, I grew up in the motivational business, listening to like motivational seminar tapes in my car.
Yeah.
But, the fact is that all of these things work. And let's talk about the couple of events you have coming up at Elster,
Yes.
right? There's some come up this month and then the August. So let's talk a little bit about that.
So we have one coming up July 27th. And then August 31st.
Okay.
August 31st will be a huge event. But as you know, we always try to make it fun, immersive.
Yes.
We have a VIP lounge. I don't think I mentioned that yet because we got to make it Miami.
That's right. We need the VIP lounge you have. That's great. Absolutely.
Where we actually give them special service and special treatments with selected treatments that we have. We have cryofacials and we have caviar in the VIP lounge. Last event, we curated a special biohacking menu. So this event, probably the Elster will provide a biohacking menu, biohacking and longevity menu with special ingredients. Then we also have a collaboration with Southwest Ranchers Farmers Market.
Okay.
To provide raw beef and all organic products.
Fantastic.
Because that's very hard to find still in Miami. I feel like that's something we need to improve.
Absolutely. Yeah. And food is medicine. It really is.
Food is medicine, for sure. Yeah. Last event, we had gut health professional Ella Davar. She spoke at the White House.
Oh, wow.
At our event. So that was, we're trying to engage, more specialists, nutritionists, and integrate them into the whole experience so that in the end, the attendees can really have on-site feedback and on-site guidance if they have any questions.
No, I think that's very powerful because, again, a lot of people, they don't know where to look.
Right.
There's a million answers.
Right.
And when you get into certain ailments or diseases, I know a lot of people that started companies because they were searching for an answer and they didn't find one anywhere.
Right.
And I will say this, being in this space for a number of years, most of our Western medical professionals do not really understand this technology yet. They're like, my cardiologist is like, what do you do with the hyperbaric? And he's watched me go from here to here.
Yeah. So that's why we also have we're working on a Biohack Miami concierge.
Okay.
That actually explains you all of the treatments that we have on site because it can be overwhelming. You come to the events, you see 20 different treatments and then 6+ classes. So it can be overwhelming. So that's why we're working on a concierge system. We also have a newsletter coming up explaining all of the products in depth, with the link to the different brands that we work with.
Excellent.
Especially you too. So that's why I'm excited to be on this podcast to, get the word out and just spread the word and grow the community. That's what it's all about, like having a community that is behind this.
Well, that you said it. And that's kind of the key thing. You get like-minded people together. I was with the gentleman who's the owner of Amaret. He's an Indian gentleman. He's a billionaire. And he says, no, I'm just the steward to this property. He says, if you get a couple of hundred like-minded people together, that'll grow a community because now you've got enough people and you're getting that. And you see the quality of the people. In fact, I was talking to one of the, I think her name is Anizu, right? And she's a yoga teacher. She's come to your event. Her and I connected. She wound up getting one of those anti-aging beds, and they said that it had no polyester, and they got But her and I, she's like, Eric, I want you to come here, and I want you to come here, and so just the fostering of these relationships, and just like, hey, how do we help each other? Not even from making money, like people invite me out. So this is how I do it, folks. And if you're really thinking about how do you make money, you just show up in more places. So people invite me, and if I could say yes, I say yes because I don't know what's going to happen until I show up there, right?
Yeah.
And that's like your event. And people show up there and they're like, wow, that was my thing. I loved it. I think, and by the way, my friend Axia, Michael Eagle, he's a good friend. The Zero Gravity people, they're friends of mine too. In fact, the very first show I did at Four Seasons, she was sitting out the room picking off doctors and she goes, I'll do every show you do. So
Because your shows are amazing. When are you start inviting me to your shows?
well, I am. I just
Yeah.
told you, So
Yeah.
we have
I'm jamming.
Amarit, and so again, I'm really excited to work with you because it's a young, fresh energy,
Mm-hmm.
and I think a lot of these scientists and researchers are dealing with chronic disease.
Yes.
But let's share this to the world,
Yes.
and help people.
Let's start to work on our health before we getting sick.
Exactly.
Because we have all these stories of people getting sick or getting ill, and it's horrible to see, but luckily these technologies help them. So we have all these success stories out there. But now it's about getting young people that are already fit, that have no health issues, but still want to work on their health early. So it prevents. It prevents any diseases, it prevents any illness, it prevents or helps recover injuries, So
100%. And I think most people, once they are aware,
right.
and they listen to their body,
Yes.
and then when something is wrong. I went through that, and I went through again. If you're obese, if you're eating the wrong foods, you go, oh, I got all these pains. I stopped eating sugar. All the pains went away.
Right. And it's simple steps. And that's like in the community. If you have a community that you connect with, it's easier to implement that into your daily routine and into your lifestyle.
Exactly.
Like that's what we also want to do, like integrate it into your lifestyle with small steps and having a community that you share the same values with.
Yeah, and then you can support each other, because I have people all the time that we offer all the compounding pharmacy, and like, does it work? Does it not work? I said, well, look at me, but I say, but you have to be committed to the process, because people they'll take a shot and they'll be, it's not working.
Right.
I'm hungry. I'm like it took you all these years to gain the weight, It
cannot happen in a minute.
And the last thing I'll say is this: it's all about the mindset, because you've got the right mindset. I'm telling you from personal, I've struggled with weight my whole life. And I just said, hey, and I've reached, these milestones. But I think when people have that mindset, they'll go through whatever pain they need to reach the goal. And that's kind of like what I'm trying to share with people. And now my crazy thing is getting on a stage, singing my song "Man on a Mission," right, in front of a live audience, which we've done, but in terms of but bringing it globally around the world, because that's really what that's the
music is healing too. Music is scientifically proven to heal.
That's
so
right.
That's why, like, I wish you the best of luck. Like, go out, like, spread the word and heal people.
That's exactly it.
Heal
Exactly
people
it.
with your music.
100%. And you know what? With the whole idea of Man on a Mission, it's just about me. It's just about everybody. Like, you're living your mission, right? You're on your mission. So how do you get inspired about have that mission? And I also say to people, you got to have good health, because if you're going to run hard, listen, I had days I ran 20 hours recently. A few years ago, I couldn't do that. I was at Consumer Electronics in Las Vegas, and I had to stop because I couldn't walk anymore. My legs felt like they weighed 1,000 pounds. I was 270 pounds. I'm 170 pounds. Like, where'd the rest of that person go?
Wow, congratulations.
And you think about it, I'm still physically going at it and realizing I'm a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
So my hydrogen water bottle is almost there.
It's almost there. We're gonna
2 seconds, and we can enjoy hydrogen water.
I love it. Now I have a not one as fancy as that.
Yeah, it has a little touch display. It's really cool.
Does it have frequencies in it too?
No, it has no frequencies too.
Okay. Oh man, because they're making frequencies in them, red light. In fact, that one you can climb inside. It's also a hyperbaric chamber.
Yeah.
There's a machine that came out now. They combine like 5 devices into one. I think it's the Immortal or something. So
I did the Immortal
the
other day.
How was that?
Honestly, it was amazing. So the experience was super cool. So you basically get vibrations, you get red light, and then you get hydrogen as well. And then you get sound, and you can choose, there's different levels. So you can choose between energetic, relaxing, different categories, right? And I always like to be energetic. So I chose the energetic one, and I felt like in the jungle. So you feel like you get your red light, and you feel like you're besides lions and monkeys, and you're like going to a waterfall. So the energetic one is very intense.
Wow.
Very intense with like drums, a lot of drumming. But then I was like, again, it connects me to nature.
Yes.
Like if I would be in Costa Rica in a jungle, I would have the same sounds, you know, the same
Yes.
sounds. I have light, the red light, and I have hydrogen, good air quality. So in the end, all these $150,000 cost this immortal chamber.
Yeah, in fact, Amarin has one. They're showing it
Really?
off. Yeah, they have one there at the
It's
place.
super cool. It's definitely it's an experience. You feel
Right.
like in Costa Rica, like in the jungle.
That's so cool. I'll have
Yeah.
to want to check that out. Yeah, because we have hydration, we've got red light, you know, and it's interesting because a lot of my like these vendors now, they're like okay, the amp coil, they're working now to get it so it can go into the hyperbaric. So they're all collaborating to create these different modalities. I'm a little concerned because like Tom Kerber he's like, hey, we can do this with the hyperbaric. I said, we're at a hotel. I don't want to blow anything up, you know, because you got to be careful.
Electricity. We also need to see with the electricity.
That's right. That's
yeah.
And again, we
ordered now a spider for the Elster Hotel. You know, a spider like where we can have a lot of electricity.
Oh, really?
Yes,
oh, nice.
For more vendors with more like stuff that needs electricity.
Yeah, because that was a little issue we ran into. But I mean, we'll bring out a nice big program. And what I like about August, you were saying we're going to have a whole bunch of, we're going to have a whole educational series.
Yes.
So I'm going to bring you guys some medical doctors, some of the founders of these programs. Because just like people try it, we want them to understand what the technology is about.
100%.
And they can be educated to see if they are going to make a decision. Because first people go, wow, this is so much money. Then you go, well, it really isn't if you're going to have it for the next, you know, and if you have family members with real ailments, you know, I want to park this at my mother's place because there's like 30 people, they all can benefit from it. And then you've got something going on with the NFLPA. Tell me what's going on there. That's exciting on the same day.
So we partner with Desmond Bryan.
Sure,
he is the owner of the Hanu Yoga Studio, and he's a former NFL player.
Wonderful.
So basically, he is trying to bring in some NFL players, some connections that we have. He's trying to also bring in the collaboration with NFLPA. So yeah, it's going to be a huge event. And then we also have a fitness, it's called the Fitness Awesome Tour. Also like being in the gym and doing some activations like pull-up challenges, you know, we're doing some fun activations within gym equipment with the techno gym equipment.
Oh, that's so fun. That's so fun. In fact, you know, all of those things just bring people the experience of coming together.
Yes.
And that's really, I want to end with this is, you know, when you come to this, this is about making new relationships. This is about like, I really enjoy our relationship. I like my relationship with Alex, but it's completely different. You know, he's like, all right, are you going to do the deal? How much am I going to make? I'm like, I don't even know what's going to cost. I said, but I'll make sure we all win. And then you're like all about the experience, which I'm all about.
Yeah.
And then I have to be same thing money, like, all right, you know, how much we're going to pay out? I don't know, you know, because let's be realistic. As much as we love what we do, we got to make sure that the book's balanced at the end of the month.
Of course.
You know, and sometimes there's more month than the money is left over.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's think about that because when you're getting these folks together, you know, what is their kind of like, how can we help them like constant, you know, kind of grow, you know? And that's, I think the big thing is to help them grow, giving them access to all these different.
The vendors or the attendees?
Both.
Oh, yes, we're working on strategies already. Like I want to digitalize everything. So I want to really like professionally have a platform. Attendees come in, they scan a QR code, maybe next to your vendor booth. They register, you know, with their details. Maybe you could even like be like, hey, like, are you interested in the red light? Like, which product are you interested in? Or which kind of like health issue do you have? And that's why also the Biohack Concierge comes in.
Yes.
Like, you tell us what kind of issues you have. And even if you don't have any issues, what kind of improvements would you like to do? Within your health or within your body. Everybody wants to work on something, right?
100%.
Like, I want to have my waist a little slimmer. Like everybody wants to work on something. So if we find out on what area you want to work on, we can guide you through this process.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
And we actually put together for the last show, I put together a form that said, what are the modalities you're interested in on a jot form? I'm more than happy to share with you and any professional development things they want.
Yeah.
The problem is it was so fast that everybody was abandoning the iPad. They're taking everybody's name down.
Right. People don't like to do service anymore. So that's why we need to come up with something fun and engage. Like everybody loves to read their horoscope, right? What kind of sign are you?
Okay.
People love that. But then why do people even read that? So we come up with some sort of like characteristics. It's all about you. Like, like we come up with some sort of horoscope,
Mm-hmm.
but
I hear what
like
you're saying.
yeah, something like that.
There's some other tools, like there's some personality, there's coding tools,
Mm-hmm.
the bank technology, where it codes people so they know how to communicate
Mm-hmm.
effectively. And depending on, like, some people are not really great communicators, or they don't mix and match,
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay. You just got to know people's communication styles, right?
Yeah.
Are they A's, are they B's? So, and again, the other thing you've been thinking about is having a reason why they got to see each vendor and get to know them. And I know, doing lots and lots of events and shows, you're gonna find the people that naturally gravitate and want to be part of it,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're gonna find the people that they come and it's like, oh, it's another thing, and they pass through and they move on.
Right,
And
but they still come. So they must be
that's
some
right.
sort of interest. So we just need to find out, why did you come here?
That's right. That's
And
right.
if we find out their interest, then we can like personalize it and target towards that.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk a little bit about sponsorship, because, obviously, underwriting the cost of these events, it doesn't happen for free.
Right.
We'd love to say, I said, people, no, I'm a retired multimillionaire. I just put these on for free. Because people ask you, do I have to pay? I'm like, well, let's see. Does the Elser want you to pay for the space? They're like, no, you guys don't have to pay us.
Mm.
So let's talk about, because the return, as I talk to vendors, because again, when you say, oh, it's an afternoon, evening, but it's more than that, because your whole social media, it's consistent. Share with us about that, like what the brands have you brought on so far that are really experiencing.
Oh, honestly, the journey, it's a lot. It's a lot of work. As you know, you've been
course.
doing this for 20 plus years. So there's constant, every day I'm busy with something, even though there's only one event every month. So we have event each month, the last weekend of the month.
Last weekend, last Sunday of the month.
Last Sunday of the month,
Okay.
every month. So there's a lot of work behind, but brands do get a lot of value in return. Like for
Yes.
us, it's important. What is your return on invest? Because why would you come to us? Why would you come to Biohack Miami if you don't get any return on invest? So
Correct.
we really focus also that every vendor gets their return on invest, either with like clients or new opportunities, new engagements, new contacts. And we also want to make sure, because in the end, we're all about learning more. At the event, it's more like a learning facility. You try it 5 minutes, you know if you like it, but then you got to go into their office, clinic,
Absolutely.
all kinds of, right? And we really, for what our mission is, we want to integrate it into their lifestyles, into the attendees' lifestyles.
Exactly.
Right? So
I think that's powerful.
That's something powerful. So after the event, they should go in, they'd be like, oh, actually, I enjoyed the red light. I actually felt that I have some cognitive improvements. So that's why I want to do it again. Where can I do it? That's why we have the newsletter, to let them know, hey, you can come into their office and actually try it. Or you can buy it for your home use.
You could buy it. And we're also setting up other clinics. So we're less about, hey, just come to us. We want to spread the word.
Right.
Because, and again, a lot of these things are also financeable. So somebody goes, oh my God, it costs, we have access to financing.
You don't need to go somewhere. You just buy it and you have it in your house. Like the sauna, as you said, and the things are portable. So you can even bring them on when you travel.
Correct.
Because then again, when you go to a clinic or somewhere, right, then when you travel, you don't have that access. So it's also about accessibility. We want to make it easy and accessible.
100%. Like the little red light device, I travel everywhere with it, because it's like I'm on the plane, I put it under a blanket.
There's even small PEMF devices too, right, from MCoil.
Yeah, exactly. Have that. I have so many things. It's crazy. I go over at my house. I'm like, oh, we got this. And like a lot of these devices, once people get to understand them, you don't want to not use them.
Right.
That's what happens. Like my house, you walk in, we have the hydration, we have the hyperbaric, we have all the red light. My wife also has the ultimate contour that does body fat shredding and radio frequency. Her girlfriend came over. I said, I got a new idea. Instead of even paying somebody, her girlfriend came over and she's doing it herself.
Yeah, instead of movie nights, start implementing wellness nights.
Yes.
At home, right?
Yes.
Start implementing something fun with your girlfriends at home, and just like practicing wellness and health in your house, like in an easy way.
And the other thing people are doing to getting away, they're doing mocktails versus alcohol. We're seeing the alcohol sales go down. I mean, some people drink. Obviously, cannabis, mushrooms, all of this is coming to the forefront. I laugh because I live in a neighborhood where they come up to me with their cash to buy the trizipatide. Like
No, I don't know what
well,
that
it's like Manjaro. It's the compound to lose the weight.
Oh,
So my joke is if you don't need to do that for marijuana because it's on every corner, you can get a card or you can go into any store.
yeah.
But that sometimes it's hard to get. So people roll up to my they're like, "Hey, do you got it?" And it's funny, I just didn't really even go into the business. People just started seeing me walking around my neighborhood getting smaller and smaller. Like, can I get some of that? So, I just try to be an example because at the end of the day, you and I know one thing, we can't change anybody's mind.
Right.
We can invite them in.
Right.
So how do we get a hold of you? What's the website? Where's the social media? How do we connect? How do we get people excited about coming to July 27th?
So we're very present on Instagram, Biohack Miami. Follow us on Biohack Miami, and then we have a website, biohackwellnessmiami.com. We list all of our events there. We have pictures listed, class schedules where we announce all of our top instructors. Yes, you can find all the different brands that we collaborate with, all the treatments, the live entertainment options, the food that we're going to offer, all of that on Instagram, Biohack Miami.
Amazing. It is an amazing event. This will be our 4th time being there. I'm excited to work with Sophie and with Alex. They do an amazing job. And if you're looking to sponsor, great events, this is one of them. It's unique, and it gives you an opportunity to showcase in Miami, downtown. It's very, very exciting, very, very fast paced. We've met hundreds and hundreds of really good people. I mean, I was shocked somebody bought this on the site. Like mostly it takes like 3 days. They're coming back. They're thinking about it. Guy's like, I want it. He's like, okay.
Yeah, because it's really important for us to curate the audience.
That's right.
And invite people that we know that are invested into their health and into these technologies and products.
100%. So you can go to biohackwellness.com. You can go to Biohack Miami on Instagram, and you can go to the ericstollershow.com, and there'll be information there as well to find out about how you can come to this event or any of the other events or the classes. The classes that we're holding there are amazing. So before we wrap up, is there anything that you want to say or share to encourage people to come out to the next event?
I just want to thank you for having me.
My
First
pleasure.
of all,
So
God
welcome.
bless you.
Oh, my pleasure.
For having me on this podcast. Really exciting to work with you in the future because he always brings in technologies and something new. And I'm also learning every day, right? Because it's such a vibrant field. So I want you to get healthy and come to the event, have some fun. Have some fun with us.
Have some fun, because all I want to do is have some fun, right? Thank you so much for doing this with me. Eric Stoller, Marie-Sophie Bear, co-founder of Miami Biohack with her partner, Alexander Ellis. This is Eric Stoller for the Eric Stoller Show and the Man on a Mission podcast, saying we're going to see you next time. In fact, we'll see you July 27th at Miami Biohack.
Yay!
All right.